iPhone in broadcasting. Focal TV located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting.
Hello there, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Grefina Korishpa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within the Topo Village community along the Japanese Highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like with no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on the show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large.
Okay, good morning, folks. Good morning to all of our many listeners in your respective locality where you are watching this program. My name is K. Lyndon Toba, and this is how I choose to pleasantly welcome you to the program Inside the Print Media, where we give you stories relative to Liberia and the world at large. My name is K. Lyndon Toba, and today we have varieties of newspaper within our possession. We have the Daily Observer newspaper. We have the Front Page Africa newspaper. We have the New Dawn newspaper, and we have the Hot Pepper newspaper. Because of the interesting nature of all of those local newspapers, we want to sincerely apologize to you that we will not be able to bring you the international news that has become a regular content of this presentation. So just stick and stay with us. Let's take a short break. When we resume, we will begin reading to you a summary of the news headlines from the various newspapers that was outlined to you.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Okay, welcome back again, folks. Please share the live video, please share the live stream, and don't forget to always comment as we read the various news content of our daily presentation. Today is Thursday, November 30, 2023 edition of the program Inside the Print Media. Yesterday was the holiday of or the birth anniversary of former President Williams Vadenara Shedrack Topman. We want to say a post-holiday greetings to all of you who celebrated the holiday peacefully. We so far so good. There was no casualty reported since we transitioned into another day. We want to say thank you for celebrating the day on peacefully on yesterday. So I also want to utilize this occasion to also extend a holy matrimonium to Priscilla Williams. Yesterday was her traditional wedding, and she was able to tie the knot on yesterday. So we want to say, Priscilla, we wish you a blessed matrimonium throughout your life as we go about living a very happy life with your dearest husband, Prince Williams. So, as a matter of fact, Priscilla Williams is no longer Priscilla Williams. Her name has been transformed to Priscilla A.W. Lawrence. So, we want to congratulate her for taking such a very courageous decision, because a lot of women who want to be like Priscilla. So we also encourage other people to do that. But let's go quickly to our newspaper, the Daily Observer newspaper. We were defeated because we defeated ourselves. And that particular quotation is coming from President George Manuel Weah. A lot of people refer to him as the outgoing Liberian leader. We were defeated because we defeated ourselves. That is the very first headlines we have for today. Let's go over. Dismantling the Weah's business cartel for a better Liberia. Dismantling the Weah's business cartel for a better Liberia. That is another story that can be found in the Daily Observer newspaper. Let's go strictly over to the New Dawn newspaper. Weah clears Bwaka's roadblock as World Bank lifts suspension. Weah clears Bwaka's roadblock as World Bank lifts suspension. Very interesting news presentation this morning. Senate passes 22 million investment bill. Senate passes 22 million investment bill. Very, very interesting. Let's go over to Front Page Africa newspaper. LACC sets deadline for Algorand official to declare assist. LACC sets deadline for Algorand officials to declare assist. Let's rumble over to another headline. I do not own property outside of Liberia. That quotation is being drawn from Nathaniel Fallow McGill, Senator-elect of Margibi County. I do not own property outside Liberia, Nathaniel McGill said. Let's run strictly to the Hot Pepper newspaper. State prosecutor alleged Gloria Mususka brother accesses crime scene. State prosecutor alleged Gloria Mususka brother accesses crime scene. State prosecutor alleged Gloria Mususka brother accesses crime scene. That is reported by the Hot Pepper newspaper of Philip Brown. After backs Representative Fonati Kofi for speakership, calls on newly elected representative to endorse his candidacy. After backs Representative Fonati Kofi for speakership, calls on elected representative to endorse his candidacy. So let's run strictly to the Daily Observer newspaper and begin reading the content from the various headlines that was recently read to you. We were defeated because we defeated ourselves. President Weah reveals, says CDC will bounce back in 2029 on the 8th. Call it a pep talk or a dose of a blunt truth. But one could hear a pin drop when President George Manuel Weah took the Latin at his Fort Clondelati Family Fellowship Church and laid bare his perspective on why his party, the Coalition of Democratic Change, lost the November 14 presidential runoff election. The Sunday, November 26, Fort Clon at Fort Clon Church was packed to capacity with CDC top brass in full attendance. The crux of the matter, according to the president, was the lack of unity among executives of the CDC, as well as grief among partisans and sympathizers of the party as a major factor that led to their loss. However, it remains optimistic about the party's chances of reclaiming victory in 2029 elections if unity can be restored. We are admitted that the divisions among partisans and power struggle within the party play a significant role in their defeat, emphasizing that fighting among ourselves was the reason for their downfall, acknowledging the sacrifices should not have been made for personal desire. We are also highlighted that similar internal conflicts were ongoing ahead of the elections for the position of Speaker of the House of Representatives and President pro tempore of the Senate, which could likely hurt the coalition chances of clinching either of the two top positions or both. Despite the recent loss, Weah has expressed his intention to support the speakership bid of current Grand Crew County District 2 Representative Councilor J. Fonati Kofa, a CDC star for the position of Speaker. However, this is subject to an election dispute associated with outgoing Speaker Buffer Chimba, who is yet to accept the October 10, 2023 election result, despite the National Elections Commission results from Maryland County showed that he lost. I recognize that we were defeated because we defeated ourselves and have no need to fight. We were going to elections for the speakership and President pro tempore of the Senate, and we still continue to do the same that led to our defeat without considering the theory of secession, we have said. In his special message, we expressed that unity is crucial for the CDC to ensure positions such as speakership and President pro tempore in the 55th legislature, as he called for the recalibration within the ranks of the party, while urging partisans not to be discouraged, noting that the CDC had experienced defeat in previous elections but managed to bounce back. Looking ahead to the 2029 general elections, we are emphasized that the party's success could depend on the sincerity and support of its partisans and the executive, underlining the importance of backing candidates, running as per party's mandate, a decision taken at the party's convention. We are also noted that there were people that CDC raised from the slum who were not successful and don't want to listen anymore. This is a greater setback for the party, he said. If I have people who believe that they have cash and will support candidate against our candidate, it will be the problem for us. We will be successful by allowing those who win party's primary to stay on the party's ticket and those who do not win to also support the party. This will constitute victory in itself because they will bring their people to support us. We have expressed concern over influential individuals who no longer respected the party and supported candidate outside of the CDC, which he described as dangerous for the party. He asserted that he could allow civil unrest on the sacrifice of innocent lives to satisfy the interests of his colleagues, loyalists, and party staff of those who refuse to accept the election results. He acknowledged the internal conflict and the lack of a common goal during the campaign had hindered the CDC focus and contributed to their defeat. In conclusion, we have emphasized the need for unity among CDC partisans in order to make a strong comeback in 2029 elections. He urged supporters to rally behind the party's candidate and highlighted the importance of a united front to achieve victory. This is how we go strictly over to another headlines on the Daily Observer newspaper. Dismantling the We as business cartel for a better Liberia. In 2019, the WEA-led administration through the National Port Authority signed a continuum tracking deal with the Global Tracking and Maritime Solution, GTMS, a company chased out of Sierra Leone for allegedly defrauding the Sierra Leone government of overall 11 million. Based on the agreement, GTM Solution was allowed to track all containers coming to and passing through all seaports in the country at an additional fee of $175 United States dollars. The GTM agreement with the Liberian government stipulated that each build of the lane must be covered by a valid unique cargo tracking note, number which is inserted on the cargo manifest. Shipment not covered by a valid CTN number will not be unloaded, and fine may apply for the carrier or shipping agents in connection to the shipment. Sadly, the agreement brought an additional financial burden to businesses and consumers, but also led to duplicating requirements that are already being compiled by the importer of cargo into the country through the Bureau of Inspection, Valuation, Assessment Control, BVAC. In Sierra Leone, President Julius Maada Bio terminated a government contract with GTMS for corruption and poor management at the Waters Way Seaport in 2019, yet President Wias embraced the GTMS. An investigation conducted into the running of the Waters Way Seaport found that GTMS had colluded with ministers and officials to defraud the state of 11 million. According to the sources, overall 22 million is generated per year under the GTMS scheme in Liberia, but it only benefits a few individuals in the government. According to sources, 60% of the money generated goes to President Weah, while 20% goes to the bogus company in Sierra Leone, and the remaining 20 goes to a Lebanese-owned business called Sidan. In 2021, the Weah-led government signed a 10-year agreement with Medtech Scientific Limited, quarter service provider in health technology sectors, to carry out destination inspection of containers at Liberia Seaport. The Liberian House of Representatives, through its Committee on Commerce and Concession, initiated an investigation into an alleged contract scandal worth over 18 million. The Commissioner General of the Liberia Revenue Authority, Thomas Doe-Nye, informed the committee that the contract was worth 18 million. The LRA commissioner told me and others of the committee that the agreement with Medtech did not pass through the legislature because it is a service contract. Was Medtech agreement with the LRA in breach of the Public Financial Law of 2009? The law states that any contract having a financial value of over 10 million and above should meet legislative approval. Section 1 of the PFM Act, on the title General Rules and Regulation, calls for openness and accountability in the use and management of public funds. Also, the role of the Liberia Revenue Authority are the collections of taxes and enforcement of tax law, revenue code. Why is the LRA delegating its responsibility to Medtech? Medtech is charging over 450 per container. The latest charges represents a 200% increment from a previous charge of 250. Who benefits from 20 million Medtech collects? According to sources, Senator Edwin Melvin Snow, former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs Natalia McGill, Lebanese business outfit Petrotrade, and President Weah have been involved in a criminal syndicate to keep the price of diesel fuel well above the market prices. According to sources, they are reaping about 25 million per month, which they share among themselves. The Weah-led government has robbed thousands of well-meaning citizens who are shipping goods to the country for business, personal, and charitable causes, who are faced with exorbitant costs of clearing their goods and dilapidating unnecessary delay at the water at the free port of Monrovia. We are arguing that the new administration honored Honorable Joseph Yuma Boaka to investigate these issues upon assumption of office on January 15, 2024. We urge him to strap the CTN within 100 days and have the account audited, as well as Medtech and Petrol Trade-less syndicate. The real business cartel must be dismantled at all costs. Those that have ears, let them hear. The opinion expressed in isolate those of the outer and do not necessarily reflect the opinion of daily observant. This is how we run straight over to the New Dawn newspaper. We are clears Boaka's roadblock as World Bank lifts suspension. We are clears Boaka's roadblock as World Bank lifts suspension. The World Bank has lifted a suspension imposed on Liberia, which prevented the West African nation access to withdrawn loans. Liberia's right to withdraw from disbursing loan and specific trust fund grant was temporarily halted until the debt of the bank was serviced. In reference to the notice issued by the International Development Association World Bank to the Republic of Liberia, dated November 15, 2023, suspending withdrawal on the suspended loan referred to in said notice. We are pleased to inform you that the World Bank has received all the overdue payment referred to in the suspension notice and overpayment owed by the members countries that have fallen due since the suspension date referred to in said notice. The member country is therefore now current on full payment owed by the bank to the bank on the suspended loan. Consequently, the suspension of withdrawal on the suspended loan has been lifted as of November 24, 2023. The World Bank said in its notice lifting Liberia suspension. It can be recalled that November 15, the International Development Association World Bank issued a notice suspending the real administration denying it access to withdraw loans due to delay in servicing its debt obligation. The decision to suspend access was conveyed in a letter on November 15 to Liberia Finance Minister Tue from Vice President of the Western and Central Africa region at the World Bank, Usman Dianagat. But the WIA administration succeeded in settling its obligation, something that could have served as a roadblock for incoming Boaka's administration in gaining access to withdrawn loans. The World Bank suspended Liberia access to withdrawn loans was for 60 days, but the WIA administration was able to react promptly to avoid further damages to its image. What does the World Bank suspension mean? The extended debt service suspension introduces a suspension of servicing all affected external public debt for an interim period pending an orderly and consensual restructuring of these obligations in a manner consistent with an obligation adjustment program supported by the International Monetary Fund. This is how we move over to another headline. Senate passes 22 million investment bill. The Liberian Senate has unanimously concurred with the House of Representatives in the passing an investment incentive bill valued at 22 million between the Republic of Liberia and Boni Enterprises Incorporated. Boni Enterprises Incorporated is a Liberian-owned investment. The move has created a significant step for the construction of a modern petroleum storage terminal here to boost the economy. Prior to the ratification of the bill on April 20, 2021 by the House, its Joint Committee on Investment and Concession, Judiciary and Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning revealed that the construction of the petroleum storage terminal is expected to create approximately 500 direct jobs and 1,500 indirect jobs. Boni Enterprises Incorporated is 100% Liberian-owned oil and gas importation and distribution company with over 12 years of successful operation in the country and is set to spearhead the ambiguous project. In plenary on Tuesday, November 28, 2023, the Senate on Ways Means Finance Budget, headed by defeated Bomi County Senator Morris G. Situman, showed that the deal was properly scrutinized and is in the best interest of the Liberian people. The committee also stressed that the deal is not only expected to generate direct and indirect employment opportunity, but will also serve as a catalyst for economic growth. The legislative instrument is expected to make a lasting positive impact on the economy by contributing to job creation and enhancing long-term energy security. Following the plenary deliberations on the floor, the board took a unanimous vote triggered by Montserrat County Senator and chaired on Committee on Executive Sai Hadi Joseph, concurring with the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, the Senate Pro Tempore and Grand Crew County Senator Albert Tukbachi mandated the Secretary of the Senate, Youngblood Sengui, to communicate the decision of that August body to the executive for further constitutional consideration by the President of the Republic of Liberia. With this being said, we skip over to the front page Africa newspaper. LSCC sets deadline for outgoing official to declare assets. The Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission has mandated all outgoing officials, including President George Weah and Vice President Joel Howard Taylor, to declare their assets by December 12, 2023. This declaration, part of the exit declaration of assets notice, requires a comprehensive list encompassing properties, financial holding, investments, and all relevant financial interests. Executive Chairperson, Councillor Alexandra Komanzo, emphasized that the necessity of this declaration, citing its role in ensuring transparency and accountability within the government. The process guided by the new LCC Act of 2022 underscores confidentiality while necessitating accuracy and compliance with legal standards. The LCC hereby issued this public notice to all outgoing officials to declare their assets by filing an assets declaration form with the LCC no later than Tuesday, December 12, 2023, said Councillor Alexandra Komanzo, the new executive chairperson of the LCC, while reading the exit declaration of asset notice at the Commission's headquarters on Tuesday. This information will be treated with the utmost confidentiality as provided by the new LCC Act of 2022 and will be subject to verification to ensure accuracy and compliance with legal standards. Councillor Zoe and colleagues replaced the previous LCC commissioner following the passage of the new LCC Act, which effectively terminated their contracts. Under the old LCC, majority of these current officials did not declare their assets. In response to inquiries about their validation procedure for their assets, Councillor Zoe outlined the Commission's reliance on submitted documents while inviting whistleblowers and the public to aid in the review process. She also stated that LCC will ensure that the incoming officials of the Bwaka School administration will declare their assets, adding that specific timelines will be given for the government inauguration in January 2024. The amended LCC Act defines the Commission rules in executing Liberia Asset Declaration and Verification regime, emphasizing the responsibility for officials to periodically disclose income, assets, liability, and interest. This disclosure system plays a pivotal role in promoting transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior in the public sector. With the recent conclusion of the presidential and legislative election, the LCC urges attention to governance responsibility, including the vital task of assets declaration and verification among public officials. The Commission notification aligns with the National Code of Conduct, mandating assets declaration for all government officials involved in decision-making processes and other key conjunctions at their public service. In adherence to Part 10 1 of the National Code of Conduct, public officials must declare assets, income, assets, and liability at specific interval prior to taking office at the end of every 3 years on promotion or progress from one level to another, upon transfer to another public office, and upon retirement or resignation, to ensuring a transparent and accountable governance framework. This is how we move over to another headline. I do not own property outside Liberia, Nathaniel Fallow-McGill states. Maygibi County Senator-elect Nathaniel McGill denies report of owning properties in foreign country, labeling such claims as lies and challenging those making the allegation to prove him wrong. The Maygibi County Senator-elect made a statement on Wednesday, November 29, 2023, in response to claim by the host of Spoon TV nighttime show, Mr. Stanton Witherspoon, who asserted that the former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs owns a house in Dubai. I do not own property outside of Liberia. When I was sanctioned, some of these questions came up. I am also encouraging the government to seize the building Stanton's claims I own in Dubai and use it as an embassy if it is mine. According to him, the only way properties outside of Liberia could be his, as if someone bought the property and put it in his name. However, he challenged Stanton to turn over the documents proving property ownership to the Liberian government so it can be seized. He criticized Mr. Stanton for exhibiting attitudes that resemble those of 1980 after the coup that led to the death of many who were killed as a result of false accusation and lies. He welcomed the call for an audit, noting that people should take charge of their stewardship. McGill also emphasized the need for the establishment of a specialized court to deal with people guilty of corruption and atrocity. He stated, as an incoming member of the 54th legislature, I will lobby with the colleagues to ensure that happens. Once you have committed no crime, you should not be afraid of the call for an audit. I don't think it is a wrong call for assets declaration. Responding to call about him of being allowed to take his seat in the Senate as a result of the sanction imposed by the U.S. Treasury Department, he said, the issue of sanction on me was not meant to stop me from taking a seat. It was only meant for people to change their behavior. Regarding to the candidate for pro tem of the Liberian Senate, stated that there is currently no candidate of his choice and that of the CDC, but promised that they will consolidate and proffer a candidate. This statement contradicts reports that Senator Emmanuel Nukwe in the CDC consensus candidate is in the Senate against the UP candidate Yombi Kanga Lauren. Speaking about the defeat of CDC in the just ended election, he lauded President Weah for being magnanimous in accepting defeat in the field of politics, despite doubt that he could have accepted the results. It may be painful for us in the CDC, but we have to accept the reality because that is public service. McGill believes that the president's decision has set a new standard for Liberia's democracies to flourish, expressing optimism that there is still a bright future for the CDC. He added that the margin from the recent election signals a reincarnation of the two-party state between the CDC and UP. If I think it is incumbent on other side of the divide to perform well. Senator-elect McGill further maintained that the relationship with President Weah remains tight despite the election's result. McGill then cautioned public officials to refrain from making statements that have the propensity to disrupt the peace of the country and lauded members and sympathizers of CDC for their commitment. With this being said, this is how we will entertain a short break. When we come back, we bring you the full content of the news as it released from the Hot Pepper newspaper.
Hello there, my name is K. Lyndon Togba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, Lyndon Topa. My name is Greg Courage Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Topo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
What?
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Back again, folks, after a very long break. We are back. Let's go strictly. Let's begin to acknowledge those who are following us. Myanmar Las Gonzalo. I do join you from Battery Factory community, one of our regular follower. We want to say keep following us, encourage other people to always follow us. So let's go quickly to the Hot Pepper newspaper. State prosecutor alleged Gloria Mususka brother accesses crime scene. Criminal Court aide of George Roosevelt Z. Willie has ordered an immediate investigation into the state prosecutor's information that the brother of defendant Gloria Mususka, Anthony Musu, on November 27, 2023, secretly accessed the quarantine home of his sister, which is the crime scene, under the pretense of feeding the dogs. The state prosecutor noted the prosecution office of the county attorney has been reliably informed by the police detachment and the CSD of the frequent appearance of Anthony Musu, who has been accessing the home of Councillor Gloria Mususka under the pretense of feeding the dog. On one of the instances, he said Anthony intentionally broke one of the keys into the door of Councillor Gloria Mususka and accessed other parts of the building, which, because of his relationship, the police have not been able to take any action, the prosecuting attorney averred. They requested George Roosevelt Willie of Criminal Court A, Temple of Justice, to have Anthony Musu appear before it to explain how he has been accessing the building without the authorization of the court. The state also wants to know how to have the alleged intruder Anthony Musu turn over the keys to the premises of the sheriff of the court after an assessment and investigation. State prosecutor information comes after defendant Gloria Mususka testified in court that prior to the death of Tyler Musu, her premises was vandalized on 2 occasions. The prosecution said that they believe that the investigation of Anthony Musu will establish the credibility of whether or not the premises was vandalized and why the keys are in the possession of Anthony Musu, who frequently accesses the premises. However, the In resistance to the information from the state prosecutor, lawyers representing defendant Skull described the statement as misleading and requested the court to verify some of the misleading information uttered by government's lawyer. The defense team said it is the police who has been on duty, and any vandalism on that residence could be attributed to the police. They stated that if, in fact, it is because Anthony does not have access to the resident that the dogs that are in the fence or defendant Gloria Musu not have been fed may properly die. The court have listened to the application order to the clerk of the court to witness the commander of Zone 6 and his men who were assigned to the residence of Gloria Mususka as well as Anthony Musu to report for investigation on Thursday, November 30. Atal Bag's representative Fonati Kofa for speakership calls on newly elected representative to endorse his candidacy. The Institute for Transparency and Accountability International has given open support for Deputy Speaker of the 54th House of Representatives, Councillor Fonati Kofa, for ensuing the speakership election in January 2024 for the 55th National Legislature. In a press release issued on Wednesday, November 29, 2023, Atal said their support is predicated on the fact that Kofa is best suited for the position among the candidates who have shown interest for the vacancy. According to the group, Councillor Kofa has served as Deputy Speaker in some cases, acting Speaker, making him acknowledgeable of the function of such capacity and putting him ahead of his contenders. The Transparency Group named newly elected Representative Musa Hassan Bility, Montserrat County District 11 Representative Richard Kuhn, and Lofa County Representative Thomas Fala among those contestants against Councillor Kofa for the speakership, but placed Kofa ahead of them for the level of honesty, integrity, and experience he brings to the table. The group stated that Councillor Kofa has over 25 years of working experience in both public and private sector with a viable track record with human relations and international connections. Since his elections as Grand Creek County District 2 representative in 2017, he has maintained cordial relationship with majority members of the 54 legislature, wielding huge influence over some of his colleagues as well as legislative staff, several of whom have expressed support for his speakership, the Atal release stated. Meanwhile, the Institute for Transparency and Accountability International has called on all elected members of the 55th House of Representatives, especially the newly elected ones who are yet to know Councillor Kofa in person, to support the candidacy of the Lane Councillor in order to give him the opportunity to showcase his leadership ability at the first branch of government and to give the capital a phase of international acclamation. The Atal released underscored that their support and plead with members of the House avoid of political sentiment and use the opportunity to call on members of the Unity Party Alliance and their supporting group of the Coalitions of Democratic Change and their supporting group independent members of the House to go beyond party politics and put the interests of the national legislature first. The release observed that the integrity of the first branch of government is of paramount interest to the state and its growing democracy. As such, electing Councillor Kofa as Speaker is an added advantage to such an endeavor. In related development, Atal called on Councillor Kofa upon his ascendancy as Speaker of the 55th National Legislature to work closely and collectively with the Liberian Senate and the executive branch in moving the country forward. They want Kofa not to use the position to subject national interest to party scrutiny as doing so who only stall the development that the citizenry yearn for. With this being said, this is how we will close down on all of our local news segment. And thanks to all of you, Mambu Samson. Mambu Samson, thanks you for following. Thanks to all of you who have been following our news presentation on this morning. We want to sincerely apologize for coming up very late. because they are carrying a refurbishment at our exercise. So we have to obey some of the instructions. So that would be some of the reasons that contributed to our late presentation. But hopefully by tomorrow we will come the very same time as usual, at which time we will definitely fill you in with all of the major development. We are very hopeful that tomorrow we can fill you in from our international, fill you in with the international newspaper, but we will also be taking into consideration all of the major and interesting developments uh, as it relates to the various papers that we normally bring. So it has always been a very fascinating content of news presentation from the various newspaper, the Daily Observer, the New Dawn, the Hot Pepper newspaper, the Front Page African newspaper. It has always been a very beautiful and amazing headlines and news content as well. So these are the trending newspapers in our country. So we will always take stories from them. In the coming days, we will increase the newspaper. We will add the Women Voice and the In Profile Daily. But another thing we need to understand is the fact that some of those newspapers they do not provide daily content. Some of them they come out only two times a week. So because of that, we have to be starting in between them. So another major information that I think that you all need to be aware of is that today marks the program of a cleanup exercise leading towards the inauguration of President-elect Joseph Boakai and Vice President-elect Jeremiah Pankung. So we are hoping there are a lot of people, there are a lot of Liberians who have since started volunteering to be a part of this particular exercise. So even before we started this presentation this morning, I was watching the program. And there were a lot of speeches being made. We are hoping that the cleanup exercise can be done across Montserrado County and all of our political subdivision, because it is actually important to beautify the city and give the city a facelift. So I think those who will definitely assume the responsibility to maintain the city ordinances of the city of Monrovia should work very diligently to ensure that our country, Liberia, our cities can be beautified, green, and clean. So with this being said, this is how I will shut down on this newspaper. We want to recognize all of you, Miaman Lasbon Sando, Mambu Samsing, and all of you who have been watching this news presentation. My name is K. Lyndon Topa. Better still, you can send me friend request on Facebook. K. Lyndon Topa. That's my full name, and that's my full name displaying to you on the stream. Better still, you can do business with us. The management is working very tirelessly to ensure that we can transition into a full-fledged radio station. So our management is doing that. To ensure that we transition to a full-fledged radio station. So again, I want to extend a matrimonial compliment to Priscilla A.W. Lawrence. Yesterday marked a very historical day in her life because she was able to traditionally tie the knot. So we want to say we wish you God's choicest blessing in that particular decision you have made, and we want to say that you remain committed. You remain committed to the relationship. We want to say that you work tirelessly, just as the pieces of advice were provided unto you on yesterday at the occasion by those people who are very much acknowledgeable to the traditional proceedings of our country. They told you to actually obey, and the same advice was being provided to your husband. So we hope that you people will have a prosperous marriage life. So with this being said, this is how I choose to call your day. So thanks to all of you who have been there watching this news presentation.